Dramatic proceedings. First tonight on Our News, live at 7. A witness collapses after testifying in an MP's corruption trial in the Supreme Court. Also, government issues 28-day notices to Gully Shantytown residents in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Minister Clay Sweeting heads the crackdown on illegal shantytowns. Plus, early morning union unrest as hotel workers protest stalled salary negotiations with an 8% increase at stake. Then in Our News at 7:30, government launches a committee to strengthen the Bail Act and combat violent crime. The Attorney General details action with police and the judiciary to ensure swift justice. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. We begin with dramatic proceedings in the Supreme Court today as a witness in the Adrian Gibson corruption trial collapsed following her testimony. Bethany McDermott gets us started tonight.
Inez Cargill Sherman, a senior manager at the Water and Sewage Corporation, had just finished testifying. She appeared to be in a daze as the judge admonished her not to discuss her evidence with anyone during the adjournment. When Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson asked her if she was okay, Cargill Sherman replied that she felt nauseated. Moments later, she fell forward and collapsed. However, she was caught by court personnel before she hit the ground. Cargill Sherman was alert as she was carried from the court by ambulance attendants. Prior to becoming unwell, Cargill Sherman testified how she was harassed by Elwood Donaldson Jr., the corporation's then general manager, to process payments for vendors who were awarded maintenance contracts by the corporation. The case centers around the awarding of contracts by the Water and Sewage Corporation while Gibson served as its executive chairman. Prosecutors say Gibson illegally received $1.2 million from the contracts. Gibson is on trial with Donaldson, his cousin Roche Gibson, Jerome Mizik, Peaches Farquharson, and Joanne Knowles. Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
Residents in the Gully Shantytown in Abaco receiving 28-day notices as government continues a crackdown on illegal shantytowns throughout the country. The shantytown in question is located in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. It's the first family island that's being targeted by the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, along with the Unregulated Community Action Task Force. Works and Family Island Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting is on the ground.
We are assessing these communities. We have Building Division, we have the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Defense Force, Immigration, and Social Services, and the Ministry of Health and Environment will be arriving tomorrow. So we're assessing the homes and to see which ones are regulated, which ones are not, and then we'll move forward with that within the next few weeks.
All right, this news comes after the Cool Acre shantytown was demolished back in early November. The All Saints Way shantytown months later on January 15th, and with eviction notices for another southern shantytown in the capital expiring in the coming days. Central and South Abaco MP John Pinder says it's a fix the island has been waiting for.
It has grown substantially since Hurricane Dorian, where the mud and the pitch and peas were removed. The farm, which was a smaller shanty town, is now grown exponentially with probably over 300 homes. Where we are now is a part of the Gully and Gaza, which is close by, and there's hundreds of homes here. It is it's a serious issue here in Abaco. The Bahamas is for Bahamians, and we need to make sure that everybody who comes in our country is abiding by our laws and our rules.
All right, now to another story we've been following. British billionaire and Albany developer Joe Lewis pleading guilty last night to 1 count of conspiracy to commit securities fraud and 2 counts of securities fraud. Broad Bay Limited, a Bahamian entity owned by Lewis, also entered a guilty plea on Wednesday and agreed to pay a $50 million fine. Lewis's sentencing was set for the same day as FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was scheduled to be sentenced for his convictions. That's another story we are continuing to follow. But as many international outlets continue to connect both men to the Bahamas, Our News asked Attorney General Ryan Pinder whether he was concerned about the country's image.
It's completely unrelated to FTX, so I'd really like to hear how you think it's related to FTX.
To the Bahamas specifically is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, he's a permanent resident investor in the Bahamas. I mean, I have no real comment on that.
We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Breezy conditions around the islands, comfortable, but those temperatures made it up to near the 80-degree mark. We are settling into the mid-70s right now outside our studio, 76 with a few clouds. It is still breezy. Your winds out of the east-southeast at 13 miles per hour, and your feels-like temperature is at 78. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 75 in Freeport. Over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, you guys are 74. We pick up a string of 76s in Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key, Governors Harbor, and in Nicholstown, Andros, as well as here in the capital. 76 again in Kemps Bay, Arthurstown, Cat Island, and in Coopertown, San Salvador, Deadman's Key. Georgetown, you guys are 79. And into the southeast Bahamas, 76 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, and Colonel Hill, Cricket Island. Acklands, Delectable Bay, as well as Abrahams Bay, Meguana, 77 there, and a pair of 78s in Matthewtown, Inagua, and our neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands. Taking a look at our satellite and radar composite, we have high-level clouds, mostly moving across the northwest Bahamas, courtesy of a dip in the jet stream across our area, so we're looking at that to continue. Most of this activity will be moving out towards the north and east. We do have a couple of spotty showers across the northwest Bahamas, but high pressure remains in charge of most of the islands. That's continuing to provide us with the breezy conditions, so beaching and boating still a challenge, so we're asking you to exercise extreme caution if you plan on doing any of that through tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. So look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on our news, the Hotel Workers Union takes a stand, protesting at the foot of Paradise Island Bridge this morning as salary negotiations stall. Members demanding an 8% salary increase. And navigating the fitness frenzy. Get expert advice on choosing the right workout program in 2024 in our New Year, New You series, when Our News returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a water pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You can be straight.
But his boy is in wimauto.com.
Hello?
You say you looking for a water pump, right?
They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man, that's correct.
It did not. Luckily, wimauto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guy for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on wimauto.com.
On Sunday, January 28th at 6 p.m., Pastor Mario Moxie and the Bahamas Harvest Church family invites you to join us at the Nassau Cruise Port Amphitheater for a transformative night of corporate prayer as we reclaim the night. The corporate prayer service promises to be a night of powerful prayer and exuberant worship like no other. Come and be a part of this transformative night as we go to God and reclaim our nation, children, families, governments, schools, and every island in the Bahamas for Jesus. Experience the ministry of the dynamic harvest generation, the passionate praise from Bahamas Faith Ministries Crown Worship, and Sherwin Gardner will declare blessings gonna find me here. Allow the power of fasting and praying to resonate from the center of our nation as we join hands in prayer and worship and reclaim the night. See you there.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
In the vibrant heart of the Bahamas, a common loftier goal unites us all. A place where love and unity thrive, where world-class technology is accessible and affordable, connecting every generation. We believe in our heritage and the boundless potential that lies within us. We believe in Bahamians.
Members of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union sounding off over an 8% increase in salaries. As we learned tonight from hotel union executives, stalled negotiations are putting the union between a rock and a hard place. The issue leading to protests at the foot of the Paradise Island Bridge.
President of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union, Darren Woods, telling reporters failed efforts to get an 8% increase in their salaries prompted their protests.
We recognized that there was nothing in it for the tipped category. And when we raised the question, management said that it is their position that they want to do the greater than. And so we said to them, we never agreed to that because there's no way the union can sit and negotiate for a certain group of people and leave another group of persons out.
The dozens of hotel union members protested at the foot of the Sydney Poitier Bridge were joined by representatives from the Taxi Union and the Bahamas National Alliance Trade Union Congress. Woods claims the majority of the hotels have agreed to the increase. However, he says they haven't been able to come to an agreement with Atlantis.
We negotiated an 8% in the first year. And their position is because the tip category would have received the minimum wage, and the minimum wage is the greater, then that is all they're prepared to pay at this time. And so for us, we spoke to our membership last night, and they are not happy with it.
In a press statement, Director of Labor Howard Thompson acknowledged speaking to Mr. Woods. He said, quote, "I ended the conversation by indicating to President Woods that I am aware of the issues and would like to have a sit down with him and the Atlantis representatives to see how I could assist in resolving the issues." Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Berthany. Meanwhile, the Bahamas Hotel and Restaurant Employers Association issuing a statement following today's protest saying the association is surprised and disappointed by the comments coming from the hotel union. President Russell Miller said both sides had already agreed to all financial and non-financial terms and conditions in the new agreement and was in the process of vetting and binding documents for signature. Miller's statement continued saying this unexpected 11th-hour impasse is incredibly unfair to bargaining unit team members who have worked without an agreement since 2013 due to the union's failure to put a new contract forward. He said the association continues to honor and operate under the terms of the expired agreement without fail and says members will not allow today to derail their commitment to finalizing a new agreement as soon as possible. Well, in a world where we're constantly being bombarded with new fitness trends across social media and all across the internet, the choice of where to start can be quite overwhelming. Well, in tonight's installment of our New Year, New You series, Marlena Leonard speaks to a fitness expert on how to find the right program for you.
Operations Manager at the Fitness Connection, Alex Pillane, has this advice for fitness newbies.
My advice to people is actually to start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. Even if it's just as simple as starting with a 10-minute walk a day, you'll be surprised at the compound effects of small changes over time, even without you having to feel like you have to be 100% committed.
The operations manager, who is also certified in personal training and corrective exercise, says there's a major key for finding something that will stick.
Whatever it is you get into, you have to be able to enjoy it to a certain degree. So if that is, like I said, walking at home, doing home workouts, an online program, we have tons of awesome Bahamian trainers who have their own apps that come with meal plans and workouts. Whether you want to go with the social scene and the public scene of going to a gym, we have CrossFit gyms, we have regular weightlifting gyms, and even inside those gyms, there are coaches that do all kinds of great stuff.
The Fitness Connection even has their own accountability program, the 12-Week Transformation Challenge.
We have a new challenge that's starting in early March, and with that, I also want to encourage people to have something that I like to call a fresh start mindset. So even if it is January 24th and you still haven't started this resolution that you promised you were going to in the new year, that doesn't matter. Give yourself the opportunity of a fresh start.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the FAA clamps down on Boeing with a production freeze on 737 MAX. Plus, a medical marvel, the story of an 11-year-old who hears for the first time after groundbreaking gene therapy treatment. And 6 kidnapped nuns freed in Haiti. Religious leaders condemn government inaction amidst escalating gang violence. When Our News returns.
As we roll into February, we continue to save at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Libby Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15 ounce, $1.59. Distinction Evaporated Milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. American Heritage Cream Cheese, 8 ounce, 2 for $5. Ground beef, 1 pound, $3.99. Beef short ribs, $4.99 per pound. If you're looking to save, you're looking at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
If you want a real nice, tasty bangin' dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the conch technician. When they ask me where I gurn by the conch. When they ask me where I gurn by Goldie. When they ask me where I gurn by the conch. When they ask me where I gurn by Goldie's. Arawakis, king of conch. We 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 gurn by Goldie's. Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki. 325-4300. That's Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki. 325-4300.
We're excited about this campaign in particular because a lot of times people look at breakthrough technologies, and the span between a breakthrough technology could be a lot, but the innovation between those breakthrough technologies actually makes the difference. So we just like how they stay engaging the market, making it very exciting, making it appealing, but at the same time actually improving the infrastructure that we need to make innovation possible.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration late on Wednesday tightened pressure on Boeing by barring the troubled plane maker from expanding production of its best-selling 737 MAX narrow-body planes. This follows unacceptable quality issues. Julian Satterwaith reports.
U.S. watchdogs say Boeing's MAX 9 jets can fly again, but it's not all good news for the troubled planes. The Federal Aviation Administration lifted a grounding order late Wednesday. The jets had been out of service following the mid-air blowout of a big panel on one operated by Alaska Airlines. Now the FAA says the aircraft can fly again once inspections are completed. That's a big relief to Alaskan and United, the type's two main operators. They've been forced to cancel thousands of flights. But the FAA also barred Boeing from increasing output of the model. Regulators said they wouldn't approve any rise in production until they were satisfied that quality control issues had been addressed. The ruling is a big blow for Boeing, which had wanted to boost output to close the gap with European rival Airbus. Speaking after a meeting with lawmakers, Chief Executive Dave Calhoun sought to reassure travellers.
We believe in our airplanes. We feel safe airplanes. Our people do. We have confidence in the safety of our airplanes. And that's what all of this is about. And we fully understand the gravity.
Production of MAX jets was supposed to hit 38 per month by the end of last year, rising to almost 58 per month in late 2025. Now plans to set up an extra production line could be in doubt, with the FAA not saying when its curbs would end. Analysts say the impact of the restrictions could ripple right across the industry, as the MAX jets are a big source of business for suppliers. In better news for Boeing, the company has delivered a MAX to China for the first time since early 2019, a breakthrough for the firm in one of the world's most important aviation markets. Beijing had halted deliveries of the planes following 2 fatal crashes that were traced to a design flaw.
In a groundbreaking gene therapy breakthrough, an 11-year-old boy, Assam Dam, is now hearing for the first time after undergoing experimental treatment at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Dr. John Germiller, the surgeon behind the procedure, says he anticipates profound implications for future hearing loss cases. Assam, who had no prior hearing, now has mild to moderate impairment, expressing joy in hearing voices and sounds.
The idea here is to replace a defective gene that a child is born with, and there are estimated to be over 150 genes that cause hearing loss at birth, and this is just the first one that we've been able to treat. The idea is to really restore that gene to the inner ear by literally injecting it into the inner ear. And it's a surgical procedure to do that. But it's exciting because if we can get the gene back in and get it functioning, it should restore hearing. And we now have the technology in terms of gene therapy agents to be able to do this in the ear.
And finally, in a positive development, 6 nuns and 2 others who were kidnapped in Haiti last week have been released. The news confirmed by Archbishop Max Leroy Macedor of Port-au-Prince, who spoke with the Associated Press on Thursday. Expressing gratitude, he mentioned everyone is in good condition, but did not disclose whether a ransom was paid or provide details about the perpetrators. This recent high-profile kidnapping has sparked criticism from religious leaders, including the Pope, and they issued a scathing letter actually condemning government's inaction in addressing the escalating gang-related violence in Haiti. All right, in tonight's Sustainability First Report, we're going to talk to the next generation of marine science experts. Marlena Leonard speaks to the current Bahamas Environmental Stewardship Scholar to find out where he plans to go next.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
The best internship is the Bahamas Environmental Steward Scholars Program. It's a collaboration between BRIEF and the Cape Eleuthera Island School. And it's an opportunity for students when they've graduated from 12th grade to spend a year diving deeper into marine conservation. They do a 100-day semester at the Island School, which is a residential program, and they do a 4-month internship with BRIEF that also involves engaging in work experience with a diverse group of other organizations.
17-year-old Christopher Clark is a Nassau native and says when he saw the opportunity to become a Bahamas Environmental Stewardship Scholar, he knew he had to apply.
Recently, I started working with my uncle on a powerboat, doing powerboat tours, teaching tourists about our islands and our oceans, and we'd always go to coral reefs and go diving. And I noticed that tourists would start asking me a lot of questions about the fish on the reef, and I had to stop and start doing my research about them and figured, okay, well, maybe I should educate myself a bit more. And I've always been passionate about marine life and research on the whole. I love science, and I saw that and learned that you get to study under PhD students at the Cape Eleuthera Institute and instantly wanted to apply.
As for Clark's plans for the future,
hopefully I'm going to go on to do biochemistry in college. So it's a little different from marine science, but I want to apply what I learned there into our waters and oceans. I've applied to Penn State, University of Pittsburgh, University of Madison, Wisconsin, Emory University, Georgia Tech. I've received replies from Penn State already. I've got accepted into there, as well as University of Pittsburgh. But we're waiting on a few more replies.
For more information on the scholarship and eligibility, visit brief.org. Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Still to come in Our News, Today in History, find out interesting facts about the day that was January 25th. Then in Our News at 7:30, concerns rise as a Bahamas Air flight to Crooked Island and Acklands faces challenges. The airline's managing director addresses the incident. And the GBPA chief asserts the port's independence, saying Grand Bahama Port Authority is not for sale, despite government's openness to potential buyers. The story when Our News returns.
heard that sound? It's the sound of us. Since our origins, we burst music. Our sounds mixed together. So let us hear your sound too. Your sound of passion, of joy, of friendship. The sound of your style and the beat of your night. It's time to play together the sound of Guinness, the sounds of greatness.
Dinner is in the oven.
Order your favorite pizzas on the new Domino's242.com. Your favorite Domino's specials are all here to order. See your pizza as you build it, or order your favorite specialty at Feast Pizzas. See the progress of your pizza from the time your order is placed until it reaches your door. Your favorite Domino's pizzas are now online. Order online today at Domino's242.com. It's better than ever.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health.
Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Welcome back to Our News. We are out of time tonight, but if you want to watch Today in History, be sure and head over to ournews.bs. You could find that and all of today's top stories right at your fingertips. And remember, if you want to share any of your favorite stories, head over to Our News Bahamas on Facebook. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Natalia Hall. She's got the latest headlines. And Natalia, I know Junior Junkin was happening right now. Our Joshua Williams, he's out there and he's keeping our audience up to date with what's going on. Be sure and follow Our News on TikTok as well as on Facebook and of course on YouTube and ournews.bs, right?
I saw some clips earlier and to see the little kids taking part, and that is such a joy. Yeah. Such a joy.
I'm excited to see what he's going to find because I do know that there are more moments that we haven't seen yet that I know is going to engage the audience. So again, if you're not following us on TikTok or on Facebook or on YouTube, be sure and look for the handle Our News Bahamas.
All right, thanks so much, Ken. Well, concerns rise as a Bahamas Air flight to Crooked Island and Acklands face challenges, and the GBPA chief asserts supports independence. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, Bahamas Air responding to concerns from passengers following a mechanical issue with one of the airline's aircraft. But first, wondering what proposed amendments to the Bail Act will mean for the country? The Attorney General speaks. Also, a witness in the Adrian Gibson trial collapses in court. We have more details straight ahead. And later, employees of the Road Traffic Department fed up. This as they held a sit-out due to poor working conditions at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium location. Our News Live at 7:30 is back in a moment.
As we roll into February, we continue to save at super value and quality supermarkets. Libby spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounce, $1.59. Distinction evaporated milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. American Heritage cream cheese, 8 ounce, 2 for $5. Ground beef, 1 pound, $3.99. Beef short ribs, $4.99 per pound. If you're looking to save, you're looking at super value and quality supermarkets.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a comfort suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of comfort suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit comfortsuitespi.com.
If you want a real nice, tasty banging dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sun set out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the conch technician. When they ask me where I yearn by the conch. When they ask me where I yearn by gold. When they ask me where I yearn by the conch. When they ask me where I yearn by Goldie's. Arawaki's king of conch. We 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 yearn by Goldie's. Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki. 325-4300. That's Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki. 325-4300.
We're excited about this campaign in particular because a lot of times people look at breakthrough technologies, and the span between a breakthrough technology could be a lot, but the innovation between those breakthrough technologies actually makes the difference. So we just like how they stay engaging the market, making it very exciting, making it appealing, but at the same time actually improving the infrastructure that we need to make innovation possible.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. One day after Prime Minister Philip Davis announced his administration's plans to amend the Bail Act, the Attorney General is explaining what it will mean for the justice system. Megan Shepard reports.
From the Commissioner of Police to the everyday Bahamian citizen, many have been calling for amendments to the Bail Act and stiffer penalties for those who continue to commit violent crime. Attorney General Ryan Pinder noting that a committee has been established and consists of the police, prosecution, and members of the judiciary. The aim is to ensure suspects are properly prosecuted.
Together, we will evaluate additional potential reforms, test their efficacy within our system, and build on what works.
While there are presently 2 circumstances in which bail can be denied, Pinder says the 2024 amendment bill will address an additional circumstance, that is, situations where bail should be revoked. He adds that far too often we see persons who are already out on bail reoffend and are remarkably given bail again.
Granting bail by the courts under these circumstances has generally been at the discretion of the presiding judge. The Bail Amendment Bill 2024, tabled in the House of Assembly yesterday, changes this. An accused on bail who commits new criminal acts and convicted of those acts should not be granted bail once more. And when we pass this amendment, they will no longer have that opportunity.
The amendment also removes the option of a fine, leaving imprisonment for those convicted of breaking their bail conditions.
Quote, the breach of any of the conditions contained in the recognizance of bail shall result in the revocation of bail. So that's the provision that says if you breach your conditions, your bail is revoked. Furthermore, Section 9A, subsection 5 provides, and I quote, the recognizance of bail shall be conditioned that the accused person not commit any offense while on bail. So that's the embedded condition in the bail. So when you sign your bail, you agree that you're not going to offend the law while on bail.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
Thanks, Megan. Well, a prominent attorney is sounding off on plan amendments to the Bail Act, but how do lawyers feel about it? Our Joshua Williams caught up with attorney Ramona Farquharson for her take on the issue.
Revoking bail for those who violate their conditions.
It's just one part of the government's plan to combat crime. The Prime Minister stating one of the amendments targets those who commit offenses while on bail. Attorney Ramona Farquharson, however, is expressing this concern.
If you've been charged already with an offense and you are charged again once you are already on bail, there seems to be a suggestion that you therefore have, number one, that you're guilty because you're charged. And that goes against, obviously, the tenet of law, because you're innocent until proven guilty.
But that's not all. She says the proposed amendment can present another issue.
The thinking and the thought under the Constitution is that the judge's hands ought not be tied. Their discretion ought not be fettered when considering any person's application. And so, again, it's early days. There's a lot of discussion as to the proposed amendments.
The Prime Minister also adding that bail is a constitutional right that is not to be abused. Farquharson says this.
And again, who determines that? Not the legislature. The judiciary will deal with that. And so it appears as if the legislature is trying to tie the hands of the judiciary. I think that they may be surprised. Even if legislation is passed, judges may take a particular posture that I don't believe it's constitutional, and I'm not going to interpret any law or follow any law that goes against the Constitution. And so again, we have to be very careful.
So what is the takeaway?
Justice is not one size fits all. Yes, we have a problem with crime. This is nothing new for any government that's come in the past 10 years. And so I think we need to be careful, particularly our legislature. Let us not have a knee-jerk reaction and in some way try making it seem as if, okay, if we can stop persons who from getting bail, then we're going to solve the problem.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, while a witness in the Adrian Gibson corruption trial collapsed in court following her testimony in the Supreme Court, Bethany McDermott has the details.
Inez Cargill-Sherman, a senior manager at the Water and Sewage Corporation, had just finished testifying. She appeared to be in a daze as the judge admonished her not to discuss her evidence with anyone during the adjournment. When Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson asked her if she was okay, Cargill-Sherman replied that she felt nauseated. Moments later, she fell forward and collapsed. However, she was caught by court personnel before she hit the ground. Cargill-Sherman was alert as she was carried from the court by ambulance attendants. Prior to becoming unwell, Cargill-Sherman testified how she was harassed by Elwood Donaldson Jr., the corporation's then general manager, to process payments for vendors who were awarded maintenance contracts by the corporation. The case centers around the awarding of contracts by the Water and Sewage Corporation while Gibson served as its executive chairman. Prosecutors say Gibson illegally received $1.2 million from the contracts. Gibson is on trial with Donaldson, his cousin Roche Gibson, Jerome Mizik, Peaches Farquharson, and Joanne Knowles. Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
Well, a Bahamas Air flight en route to Crooked Island and Acklins experiencing challenges this week. The incident was a concern for many passengers on board that flight. We spoke with the managing director about the situation.
The engine had a surge or mechanical.
Managing Director of Bahamas Air, Tracy Cooper, confirming that Flight 402 experienced a mechanical issue with the engine just after takeoff while it was headed to Acklins before traveling to Nassau from Crooked Island on Wednesday.
As with any maintenance events on the airplane, the aircraft, the crew returned the airplane to the gate, and we have a maintenance team that is on its way down this morning to look at the airplane.
In a statement by Bahamas Air this morning, passengers were informed that they would be transported to Acklins and depart for Nassau at 3:15 p.m. Director of Aviation Dr. Kenneth Romer also weighing in on the incident and commended the airline for their safety track record. He says he's been in contact with the managing director.
It was a minor issue for Bahamas Air, but we do understand the discomfort that passengers would feel, and the Bahamas Air offered their apologies, but gave the assurance that safety remains their priority.
That downed aircraft isn't expected to impact the airline's flight schedule, but this isn't the first time in the past few weeks that Bahamas Air has experienced challenges with their aircraft. In December, 2 airplanes were out of service, a jet due to an engine fault, and an ATR experienced issues with its gears.
With those planes being out of service, we still had to service the existing flight missions. And so, yes, we reached out to actually of Florida called Global X, and they were doing some flights for us in replacement of the jet. And we also reached out to Western Air to do some flights for us in replacement of the ATO.
Cooper admits that it was a costly venture for the company, but Christmas was a busy time and the schedules could not be adjusted.
Anytime you're not doing the flight yourself, there is an additional cost.
Well, we're still enjoying nice weather conditions in the capital. Hopefully they continue for the rest of the work week. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 76 degrees, few clouds. It is still breezy on the outside. Your winds out of the east-southeast at 13 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 78. Satellite and radar composites showing high-level clouds moving across the northwest Bahamas, courtesy of the jet stream, which is hanging out across our area. That's a dip in the upper-level winds. High pressure at the surface remains in charge, continuing to generate some breezy conditions across our area. We will continue to see those trend through tomorrow as that high pressure continues to slide out towards the east. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, employees of the Road Traffic Department fed up after they claim they've been working in unfavorable working conditions. And the president of the Grand Bahama Port Authority confirming that the privately owned entity is not for sale. And later, back on Bay, youngsters from across the island all gathering on Bay Street to take part in the annual Junior Down Canoe Parade. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Okay, go on.
That part hard to get, you know.
Unless you go to wimauto.com.
Man, anybody get that website, man. How you know that's the right part?
On wimauto.com, you can enter the year, make, model, and engine size of your vehicle and choose the part that you need.
This is a Japanese car.
You can shop for that on our website.
What about chemicals?
Yep.
Car accessories?
Yep.
Tools?
Actually, yeah.
Plumbing, electrical, and grocery?
If we sell it, it's on our website. Don't worry, we don't have mechanics.
Oh, thank goodness.
Save time and shop with confidence with wimauto.com.
When the Bahamas took center stage at World Expo in Dubai 2022, we were there as thousands got up close and personal with our story, like the unprecedented devastation of Hurricane Dorian put center stage at Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda. We were there as the Prime Minister urged immediate action on climate change, an issue brought up months later at the historic 50th CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas. Because our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
It is not just my job, but my pleasure to ensure that all of our customers' needs are met, whether it's fiber to the business, hosted PBX, fixed or mobile voice services, push to talk. We're here at Alive Business to meet all of our customers' needs.
Alive Business hosted PBX is extremely important to our operation. I don't have to be in my office. I can easily get connected with our clients, my vendors, my NASA office, and with our employees in the field.
Workers at the Road Traffic Department held a sit-out today over what they describe as unfavorable working conditions at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. They say they are fed up over conditions like rodent infestations and plumbing issues and claim they've reached out to authorities but have been ignored. Those we spoke to were afraid to show their faces, saying they don't want to be victimized, but they insist they've had enough.
We are sick and tired of these working conditions. Not only that, we have to face the rodent problems, the bathroom problems. You look at where we have to sit our desks, it's not conducive to an office space. It's like we're in a storage room, boxes all around, dusty, dirtiness. We've been complaining to management. Management is not answering us. Termites in the cashier's cage. They have to deal with termites every day, carrying termites home. We've complained about this from time and time again, and yet nobody. All they will say is we're working on it, we're working on it.
Well, this morning, the Ministry of Transport and Energy released a press statement announcing services at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium were suspended temporarily due to ongoing renovation, diverting people to other substations. They say the move to the stadium was only supposed to be temporary after its headquarters at the Clarence A. Bain building was demolished in 2020. The department was scheduled to move into its new location at the Summer Winds Plaza off Tonique William Darlin Highway. Back in October, a minister responsible for transport, Jobette Colby-Davis, said the move would happen in early 2024. Still, the staff say the move is long overdue.
They tell us, okay, you're going to be in the new building in 2 months. Oh, December, you're going to be in the building. Wait, January, you're going to be in the building. Oh, wait, the building ain't ready. Okay, now they tell us 2 weeks. 2 weeks going to turn into 2 years again. We were supposed to be in the stadium 6 months or a year. That turned into 8 years. October made 8 years. So we gave more than enough time for the Bahamas government to develop a plan. We gave, and more than one government. This isn't about a government, PLP or FNM. We gave enough time for both to decide a way moving forward.
Amid much speculation over the fate of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, GBPA President Ian Roll making it clear that they're not for sale. Late last year, Prime Minister Philip Davis said his administration would approve the sale of the Grand Bahama Port Authority if the new owner meets government standards.
That's above my pay grade. That's at the shareholder level. But as far as I know, we're not up for sale. I think persons on the island had become frustrated and had communications with government, etc. And of course, the government very passionate about every single island, wanting development to happen, was very concerned. But we are pleased to actually say to everybody that we have well over $1.5 billion, almost $2 billion worth of projects now for Grand Bahama.
Now the sale would have to be approved by government first. Tensions between the two spilled into the public after the Davis administration accused the GBPA of failing to live up to the Hawksbill Creek Agreement obligation to maintain Freeport's infrastructure and facilitate its growth. The GBPA has come under fire how it has managed Freeport. We put the concerns to Roll today.
First of all, after a storm, there are a few of us who've been in the thick of things after these various storms to try and rebuild a city. After a storm, it typically would take maybe 3 years before you see positive turnaround. And so once we started to see positive turnaround after a few of the storms, then you have and then you had Dorian, then the pandemic. It's a very difficult task, but we have weathered the storm.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, culture at its best. This is hundreds of children gather on Bay Street for the 2024 Junior Jump Canoe Parade.
The BFA has a big weekend planned in Luther, and we talk about some more hoops. Hang on for Our Sports.
And cool temperatures outside the Our News studios this evening as we move closer to the weekend. Greg is back with your extended weather when Our News returns. Stay with us.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
For 38 years, Struckham Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Struckham provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
From the field to the fresh market, you will find fresh, delicious, mouth-watering produce and meat. Discover organic, specialty, and healthy grocery products for everyday cooking. Your adventure awaits. Experience the fresh escape. Sign up today for My Solomon Smart Rewards at Solomon's Fresh Market.
How is your day going?
In a word, busy. 6 a.m. gym, 7 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. drop the kids to school, 9 to 3 back-to-back meetings with working lunch, of course, 4 p.m. pick up the kids, 4:15 dog groomer. Oh, but that reminds me, oh dear.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I double booked my 6 p.m. Charity committee versus helping out at the kids' ballet. Oh, it's a tough one. I promised the kids.
Which one are you going to reschedule?
Neither. Divide and conquer. My husband can handle his own on the dance floor.
It's a good thing your money's been just as busy.
RF, keeping your money busy with investment products and services that match your needs.
With over 25 years in business, nothing says commitment to our people, culture, and service like Rev. And this year is no different. We will continue to elevate your home experience for you to create and share memories for years to come, while keeping you connected to the people and things you love most. Our pledge to provide quality service each year remains true. Rev is made for you.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Hundreds of children are expected to rush down Bay Street this evening as they participate in the 2024 Junior Jump Canoe Parade. Horns began blaring, cowbells ringing, and drums pounding as the cultural event started at 6 this evening. More than 20 schools in New Providence are participating this year. They include 3 preschools, 7 primary schools, 2 junior high schools, 3 senior high schools, 4 all-age schools, and 2 youth groups. Principal of the defending champs, C.V. Bethel Senior High, Harcourt McCoy, says they're aiming for another win.
We're very excited about the fact that last year we were able to be successful and be the Junior Jump Canoe champions. Performing arts is our thing here at the school, but the bigger thing that we're trying to promote is to have all of our students aligned with their purpose and whatever talent God has put inside them. And so it's really been an easy thing for us to manage, getting our students excited about it. But we're really very much in tune with trying to make sure that they are ambassadors for our brand, which is the look, the feel, and the sound of excellence.
All right, sounds great. Well, the Bahamas Football Association has a slate of events this weekend in Eleuthera, and we catch up with Bahamians in the NBA. Here's Tej Adderley with a check on sports. Tej?
Thanks, Tatia. Good evening. Welcome to Our Sports. I'm Tage Adderley. The Bahamas Football Association is tasked with growing the sport in our country at all levels. This weekend, they're headed to Eleuthera to do just that. They're hosting a soccer festival this Saturday in Savannah Sound, Eleuthera. Starting at 2 p.m., the event will feature free skills training, a couple of exhibition matches, a chance for local kids to meet soccer coaches, and the best part about it is that it's free to all participants. Players of all ages and skill levels are welcome. So if you're in Eleuthera and you're enthusiastic about the game, head over to Savannah Sound. Now we're going to move over to the court. Some Bahamians put in work in the association and in college last night. In the NBA, DeAndre Ayton had a double-double with 18 points and 17 rebounds as his Portland Trail Blazers beat the Houston Rockets in overtime 137-131. Klay Thompson had 24 points and he made 5 threes as his Warriors beat the Atlanta Hawks 134-112. And in the NCAA, Dayton Aubrey had 18, 6, and 6 as he led his Queens University Royals to a win over Central Arkansas 96-79. Now, both Buddy Hield and Klay Thompson are in action tonight if you want to check them out. And that's a wrap for sports today. I'm Tage Adderley.
Still ahead on our news tonight, temperatures in the mid-70s this evening, but will these cool weather conditions stick with us throughout the weekend? Well, Greg is back with the answer right after this quick break.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
As a sponsor of this initiative, RBC is proud to take another significant step in our journey of 115 fruitful years here in the Bahamas. Our partnership with Alive further emphasizes our unwavering commitment to small and medium-sized businesses. I want to show you the ambitious entrepreneurs that RBC stands with you. So let's embrace the spirit of this campaign and create a thriving business landscape together for a prosperous future for all.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Welcome back to our news. Cool temperatures this evening outside the Our News studios as we gear up for the weekend. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks again, Natalia. Welcome back, everybody, for our final look at weather. We have that high-pressure system remaining in charge across our area, and that high is continuing to produce some very breezy conditions as well as some rough seas. But across the southeast United States, that's actually the Keys and southeast Florida, we have a small craft advisory in place for you guys. Across our area, we have a caution in place mainly for the inside of the islands, but along the Atlantic exposures, we expect you to exercise. Well, actually, we have an advisory for you guys out there because seas are going to be a little higher That high will slide out towards the east. That will be paving the way for a frontal boundary that should be getting in here, and that frontal boundary expected by Sunday time frame. But in the meantime, our future forecast showing just that high level cloud moving across us. That's going to continue through tonight and into tomorrow. A couple of spotty showers likely across the area, but we don't expect anything in terms of any significant weather. Boating conditions for all areas. Small craft use caution once again, as I mentioned, but on the outside along the Atlantic exposures, an advisory in place. East to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting higher times, especially across the southeast Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet over the open waters, but up to 8 feet in some easterly swells along Atlantic exposures. High tide is at 7:47 at night. The low tide taking place at 1:48 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we'll keep conditions rather nice through Saturday. Temperatures will stay near the 80-degree mark, and we continue that through Sunday, but a frontal boundary is expected by Sunday evening into Monday. Temperatures take a nice dip on the early part of next week. We're looking for low to mid-70s, and then, of course, the cold air mass will be really on us by Wednesday. 69 expected for a high during the day, and low 60s at night. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night, and stay safe, everybody.
All right, thanks, Greg. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. Be sure and check out Our News on TikTok as well as on Facebook for highlights from tonight's Junior Junkanoo Parade. Our Joshua Williams is on Bay Street catching all of the action, and we'll have more from tonight's Youth Showdown in Our News tomorrow. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Welcome to On the Record, where we bring you the pulse of current issues and the stories that connect us globally. Tonight, we bring you the sights and sounds from the vibrant city of Seattle, where the buzz of innovation meets the tranquility of the Pacific Northwest. The Ministry of Tourism has been hard at work. In this season's premiere, we're at the heart of the historic moment, the inaugural direct flight from Seattle to Nassau, courtesy of Alaska Air. Welcome to On the Record. I'm your host, Jerome Sawyer. It's more than just a new route on the map. This flight symbolizes bridging two districts, cultures, economies, and landscapes. From the evergreen state to the crystal clear waters of the Bahamas, we're exploring the impact of this airway on tourism, business, and cultural exchange. We've spoken to key players, from the officials at Alaska Air to the vibrant Bahamian community right there in Seattle. We delve into the aspirations, challenges, and hopes of this aerial venture. So fasten your seatbelts and join us as we soar from the sleepless city of Seattle to the sun-kissed shores of Nassau. We're not just covering miles, we're charting new territories in connectivity and understanding. This is On the Record, and our story takes flight right after this break.
It's the Chances marketing team, and today we hosted our annual Christmas giveaway where we gave out toys and foods to the community. And today I would say it was an eventful day.
Just to see thousands of cars lined up just to get a plate of food and put smiles on a lot of children's faces. On behalf of Jarrell Investments, we want to say thank you and wish you a Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. See you all next year.
At the gateway to the Americas, on the picturesque island of Grand Bahama, a pioneering initiative is taking shape. Lucaya Solar Power Limited presents the $15 million Lucaya Solar Power Project, the first of its kind in the Bahamas' energy landscape. The state-of-the-art solar farm on the Fairfield and Devon sites spans just over 30 acres and once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate over 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. The Lucaya Solar Project is a pivotal step towards diversifying the country's energy sources and significantly reducing dependency on fossil fuels. It's more than just a project, it's a commitment to a greener, more sustainable future. Lucaya Solar Power Limited, powered by Inti, powering your world, powering your future.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Dear friends of JA Bahamas. JA Bahamas is amazing, but we need your help. For over 35 years, I know that's a long time, JA has helped thousands of young people like me learn more about saving money and getting prepared for the real world. When I grow up, I want to be a successful business owner, but I know that requires a good education, the right plan, and hard work. Plus, with JA's help, I know that's possible. JA is awesome whether it's in the classroom or after school. It helps kids like me learn about how money helped our families. And like my brother who's in grade 9, who learned how to do a business plan, and well, my sister who just won a scholarship with JA. It helped us all. Even my mom was in JA. She's a proud alumni. What I really want is for other kids to get this opportunity too, especially in every island, so they can be inspired to achieve more in life, and with JA have the right tools to do so.
Invest in education,
youth empowerment, leadership development,
youth entrepreneurship, youth awards.
Invest in scholarships,
mentorship opportunities, our family island,
training, scholarships. Invest in my JA.
Invest in my JA.
Invest in my JA.
In my JA. In my JA.
Invest in me.
In me. Invest in me.
A city nestled in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, known for its dynamic blend of natural beauty and urban charm. Seattle stands as a testament to the innovation and cultural richness. This evergreen city is a hub of coffee culture, vibrant arts, environmentally friendly people, and a gateway to the great outdoors. We're here to witness another historic moment in this city known for its pioneering spirit. We're on the ground at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport for Alaska Air's inaugural flight to the Linden-Pidling International Airport. Alaska Airlines, a carrier born and bred in this very state, is adding yet another milestone to its legacy. We're embarking on an inaugural flight that promises to bring the world even closer. Our journey in Seattle begins at a location that's more than just a coincidence, the Museum of Flight, nestled next to the Boeing factory. Here, amidst the marvels of aviation history, a special luncheon is being held. It's a gathering of key players, all integral to the launch of this historic flight. In attendance are distinguished members of the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, representatives of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, executives from Alaska Airlines, and a host of special guests.
The Bahamas is a country of 700 islands, more than 2,000 keys, stretched across 100,000 square miles of crystal blue water. Every shade of blue you can find in the islands of the Bahamas. 16 of those islands we actively promote in the tourism space. That's a good sound. It's going to be even better tomorrow. 16 of those islands we actively promote in the tourism space. We offer you a Caribbean of islands within the islands of the Bahamas. We have amazing partnerships. And today I'm dubbing it City 16. As the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, we just completed our North America 15-city tour. And I said to the team, this is City 16. And they said, what do you mean? I said, anytime we go into a city where we're actively promoting the islands of the Bahamas and every single thing that we have to offer, our products, our services, the diversity, the unique experiences, for me, it's a mission. So welcome to City 16.
That was the Director General of Tourism, Latia Duncombe. When we caught up with her, she shed some insight on what City 16 has to offer Bahamian visitors.
Seattle offers a different experience, lots to see, to do, and to explore. From a cultural perspective, there are many events and activities taking place, whether it's the arts, festivals, culinary, there's so much to do. Seafood, fresh seafood, is something that we love and enjoy, and here in Seattle, they're known for that as well. And so the taste and the culinary perspective is familiar. There are many festivals that's here, whether it's a film festival, whether it's the Bites of Seattle festival that takes place as well. And I'd also like to share, it's also an opportunity for a two-center vacation, whether you want to come over to Seattle and then take a 1-hour flight into Western Canada, into Vancouver. You can have a multi-destination vacation exploring the West Coast. So there is LA, there's Seattle, there's Western Canada. There's so much to do and explore as Bahamians when we welcome this new service to the islands of the Bahamas.
As we delve deeper into the celebration at the Museum of Flight, it's clear this event's aim was to give its stakeholders and guests a little taste of what Bahamian culture has to offer. We mixed and mingled in an ambience filled with awe and inspiration. The museum itself, a testament to human ingenuity in aviation. However, one exhibit stood out, an early model plane from Alaska Airlines, symbolizing the carrier's long-standing legacy and its new leap with the Seattle to Nassau flight. Among the esteemed guests, we ran into a familiar face, Joy Gibberlew, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, whose insights into tourism and marketing have been pivotal. So Joy, here we are again. It seems we're traveling all over the United States with good news for tourism. This specifically, though, I think is some of the best news that's come to tourism for a while. A few weeks ago, we saw the first flight with another airline coming from LA, but now, simultaneously, Alaskan Air is flying from Seattle and LA directly to Nassau. What does that mean for you sitting here and just sort of watching all of this unfold?
This is indeed a great moment. And obviously moments like this don't just happen in a moment. They're the result of many years of conversations and lots of behind the scenes work. And I recall, over the years, meeting with Alaska, looking at their service, looking at where they were flying to, knowing that they had really cornered the West Coast to Hawaii. And we know in the Bahamas how much closer we are in the Bahamas as compared to Hawaii, and trying to sell them this idea that the Bahamas would be a great option. And they were always ever so polite, but at those moments you knew that that's all it was. They were listening to us. And so to hear from them at the beginning of this year, when conversations were going on simultaneously, and this centered around Routes America, where all the airlines meet with destinations to discuss airlift. And we had posed the question again, West Coast, opening up the West Coast for the Bahamas, and what a game changer that would be. And so to hear from them, to say that they were interested for the first time but they needed a lot of information to see if it would really be worth their while. Wanted to drill down into numbers, into what would the support look like coming from the Bahamas, whether the government of the Bahamas, whether us in the private sector, the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, and just being so excited and putting everything to make that the best presentation that we could. And then hearing from them, and they're saying they're looking at LA, but knowing that just before then another partner had expressed an interest in LA. And I'll be frank, I said, well, what about Seattle? The stats that we're seeing coming from Seattle is also interesting. And then from that moment to here we are. Never in the wildest dreams did we imagine that would result 3 flights per week from Seattle and 4 flights per week from LA. But I've used the expression a game changer. It's a complete paradigm shift for us within the tourism space, because it's no longer not just Seattle, not just LA. It's the whole of the West Coast, and beyond that, it's all of the western coast of Canada. That's Vancouver, that's Calgary, British Columbia, but also Asia. And so excited for what the future holds.
So let's go from seats in the aircraft coming there to now what that means, that we have passengers from the West Coast coming to Nassau and Paradise Island on a consistent basis. What does that mean for the product?
Well, of course, just very basic. Numbers are expected to grow. And let me give you some information. Alaska Airlines has 14 flights daily going to Hawaii. Do you know how many passengers that is every day going there? And as I said, equidistance, whether to Hawaii or to Nassau for their flight. And they're saying, gosh, if they can send that many people every day to Hawaii, they can ensure that this seasonal flight becomes year-round and that we can do that on an ongoing basis. But I think people on the West Coast, Seattle, LA, and beyond of the United States, they're so excited. Their options for a warm weather destination was so limited. They had Mexico and Hawaii and Mexico. And all of a sudden, we've just changed that game for them. We've given them another option to think about. And, you know, sometimes you don't want to talk about what are those competitive advantages. I've learned something in this whole exercise. And in that, I've heard that casinos are a great part of what people on the West Coast are looking for when they vacation. Were you aware of the fact that there are no casinos in Hawaii?
No.
And all of a sudden, we have something now that Hawaii doesn't even offer, and the people want to do, apparently. So they can go on the beach, do all those great things, but also they have the opportunity to go into the casino. So that's just one advantage. But in terms of meeting the touch point of what we think a visitor to the Bahamas looks like, every single one of those, from the age group, the economic background, things that they want to do, we hit every single one of them. And in this instance, while I represent Nassau and Paradise Island, I think it goes beyond that. I think it's the whole Bahamas experience that's going to be exciting. And anything that sells, the whole destination. You know, we don't mind. Come to Nassau Paradise Island for 4 or 5 days. Go and visit an out island as well. And it's a win-win situation for all of the Bahamas.
This has been a phenomenal year. It really has been a comeback since COVID. I know that the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board has been busy doing so much this year. And you think with all of these accomplishments, what next? So of course, that's my question. What next?
Yeah.
What does 2024 hold for you and the organization?
Certainly one of the things that we cannot do is rest on our laurels. We can't think, wow, we've had a great year, it's over, it's done, there's nothing else to do. It actually propels us and makes us more excited to say, okay, we got to bring it on. We have to keep this momentum going for as long as possible. And we have some incredible things in the works that are going to be unfolded. We're starting off the new year very, very strong. And the reason for that, we see opportunities, not just from the West Coast, there are even more opportunities. And I think the destination is so hot, and I'm talking literally as well as, the figurative sense of it.
Across the board.
Across the board, that people are now wanting to have the conversation. So for the amount of time it took for us initiating conversations with our partners about the West Coast, and you could see they were being polite, to all of a sudden they now reaching out to want to have the conversations with us. And it just takes me to look at forward keys, which is something that we talk about often in terms of getting analytics for forward bookings. They've looked at those destinations that have done well in 2023 globally and looking into 2024, and the Bahamas has made the top 10 list of that, and so that goes into 2024. But while everyone's talking about the Bahamas, while they're looking at all the great stories that's coming out of the destination, Nassau Paradise Island, we've ended this year with such a high. It's to capitalize on that. So we pray that everything is from what we can control or what we can't control remains the same, and that we can build and build and build and continue to create this destination of choice and of desire that so many people want.
Well, congratulations on a great year. And I know that you have lots of work cut out for you still, but to get for the partnerships that you have and other organizations and other stakeholders, the partnerships that you have that have been able to get us to this point is phenomenal. The fact that we are on the West Coast,
yes,
having a discussion about multiple destinations on the West coming into Nassau, that's phenomenal. And so it's a testament to the great work that you all are doing.
Thank you. And I think too, I have to say this, just allow me this moment, because it is the partnerships. It's everybody working together. The 2023, yesterday, the announcement was made, the Caribbean Destination of the Year, which is huge. Nassau Paradise Island, and that's the collective work of all of our partners. So I know that they too will feel, wow, all their hard work and their contribution to making tourism in the Bahamas sustainable, a viable option, and something that everybody wants to be a part of. A great thing, and to be recognized for that. So
congratulations.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
When we come back, we take a step out to explore the sights and sounds of the beautiful city of Seattle. Stay with us. You're watching On the Record.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and the world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there's anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Did you know that there are more than 5 ways to pay your Rev bill? Number 1, save yourself the hassle and sign up for e-billing. Have your monthly bill paid automatically. All you have to do is call or email your REV agent to sign up. Number 2, visit any Alive location. Our agents are standing by and ready to assist you. Have your account information ready. Number 3, use MyRev at my.rev.bs. To create an account, all you need is an account number and an email address. Number 4, there's an app for that. There are a number of apps that you can use to pay your REV bill like you do other utilities, including the MyAlive app and the MoneyMax app. Number 5, pay by phone. Call our hotline at 601-2200 or toll free at 242-300-2200 and follow the prompts to enter your account number and credit card information, all using your touch-tone telephone. 100% private, 100% safe. That's all, folks. REV, you and us, together.
We needed to see what all the hype was about, so we stepped out to see the iconic Seattle Space Needle. It's said that after Seattle hosted the World's Fair in 1962, the area has remained a key part of the local community. The Space Needle stands at 605 feet tall with breathtaking views. Its main attraction is the Loop, the world's first and only rotating glass floor. It is owned and managed by the Wright family, children of Howard S. Wright II. He was the man who constructed it. Meanwhile, back at the luncheon, we spoke to Alaska Airlines General Manager of Airline Planning and Network Performance, Kevin Lemmy. He spoke about what motivated the airline's decision to create not just one, but 2 routes to LPIA.
So Kevin, we are really at the precipice of a great event for us. We are about to see direct service resume from Seattle, but with Alaskan Air for the first time. So we're pretty much excited about the opportunity, but take us through what it took to get to this point. How is it that we are now able to have direct service from Seattle and simultaneously from LA into Nassau?
Absolutely. I share the excitement, and we can't wait to expand our services down to the Caribbean. I think this really started about 10 years ago, perhaps a little bit further when we started expanding our service to Hawaii, about 16 years ago with our service to Hawaii. And this provided a new exciting beach destination for our Pacific Northwest guests to go to. Then from there, we expanded from the Pacific Northwest down to Mexico. Then it was Costa Rica, Belize a few years ago, and our guests continually want somewhere in the winter that has spectacular water, fun activities, good weather, all boxes that the Bahamas checks perfectly. And when we looked at a place in the Caribbean to expand to, the Bahamas was the logical choice with how built out your tourism ecosystem is, as well as the commitment that you guys have to sustainability and responsible tourism.
Where do you anticipate the majority of the passengers will come from? Will they come specifically from Seattle, or will they be connecting here, through here to come to Nassau?
For the Seattle flight specifically, probably 60% of that traffic will be local, but then we're able to pull from our network across the 101 cities that we serve to Seattle nonstop. So passengers in Spokane coming down from state of Alaska or even up from Portland.
Fantastic. And what did it take just logistically to make this all happen? Take us back to how it all started and what really got us to this point.
Right. Specifically, we were looking to add a new winter destination for Seattle about 10 months ago at the beginning of the year. The first step was making sure that we had an aircraft that could operationally operate the route. Then it's working with our partners in the Bahamas to understand how we can partner and how we can stimulate additional traffic. From there, it goes to our operational and project management teams to rally the whole company, everywhere from our safety department to our tax and accounting department, to make sure that we can sell tickets, to make sure that we can operate our aircraft safely and on time in and out of there, and to make sure that we're able to offer a world-class experience for our guests.
To the unknown like myself, you think you just want to add a route, but there are a lot of logistics involved. And even with ensuring that those seats are filled.
Yes, definitely.
So that's a lot of work.
Definitely. And whenever we add a new destination, and specifically a new country, we really want to do it at least 6-9 months in advance so that that booking curve has as much time as possible to build up the excitement and build up the bookings to make sure the service is successful from the beginning.
And speaking of bookings, what has been the response? Have people really bought into the concept of coming to the Bahamas? Has it been slow going, or what's it been like?
It's been strong. I think tomorrow you'll find there are few seats that are not occupied by passengers. And especially as we go into the holidays where a lot of individuals are looking for more ideal places to go than the dreary Seattle weather, it's a pretty easy sell on our side.
So it's a seasonal flight, correct?
Correct. We'll fly it in the winter seasonally, and it'll end just after the spring break period in April.
And what about, I know we're here in Seattle and talking about that flight, but what about the LA flight? What are the logistics of that? And, you know, is that you're coming in again from the West Coast, but have you seen a lot of interest in that route as well?
Yeah, the Los Angeles flight is really about offering the Los Angeles basin a convenient option to the Caribbean. There is no existing nonstop service between the LA basin and the Caribbean, and though there are a plethora of connecting options, lots of individuals, when they head out on vacation, they really want that nonstop option. So that was the purpose of this route, to launch that and offer that nonstop convenient option between LA Basin and the Caribbean.
If you're a fan of the arts, our next side adventure in the city, the Dale Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum, was a must-see. Washington native Dale Chihuly takes an opportunity to share artworks that demonstrate how he pushed the boundaries of glass as an art medium in concept, execution, and presentation. The museum looks at the inspiration and influences that stirred Chihuly's career. The exhibition includes 8 galleries, the Centerpiece Glass House, and a lush garden. This stop is one that requires you to take time just to admire the creative ingenuity of man. If the name and work sound familiar to you, that's because Dave Chihuly is the creator of the huge glass sculptures in the casino of the Atlantis Resort. He was commissioned by the late Saul Kersner over 25 years ago to create these masterpieces that tower even today inside the world-famous resort. It was just another fascinating connection between these distant cities. Staying the course, we had an opportunity to speak to the Executive Director of Sales at the Ministry of Tourism, Valerie Brown-Alisay, whose excitement was brimming. She explains to us from the sales aspect what demographic of visitors we have tapped into and what this could mean for expansion in what businesses can offer.
We are in Seattle, on the West Coast, at a pivotal time for tourism. Alaskan Air is about to fly into Nassau, reopening this route, but simultaneously coming out of LA. From a sales perspective, what does that mean for the islands of the Bahamas?
Well, what it means for our destination, incremental business, extraordinarily growth opportunities. When we look at where the Bahamas business comes from, the East Coast has been traditionally, and Florida, top markets. Given the number of flights that Alaska and others are now flying from the West Coast, we stand to gain a considerable amount of visitor arrivals and particularly stopover visitors. And that's one of our goals, to increase stopover visitors from all our markets, not just the United States. Clearly, the Northwest, and this territory is called the Pacific Northwest, has not always been in the top 20 markets. We expect that to change. We expect the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest to rival what's going on in the Eastern Seaboard markets. So this is an exciting time. We see this as increasing our footprint, if you will, across the country in the United States.
Is there a particular visitor profile for this side of the country, or is it that all visitors are the same?
Absolutely, there is a profile. The West Coast has always been the more adventurer traveler. The West Coast has always been those that look to get out and about beyond the big resorts. They're very eco-friendly in terms of how they look at their particular vacation style. And not only that, if you look around, there are mountains. They hike a lot. They're the healthy folks, and the sustainability, that goes without saying in the West Coast. A very, very different profile from East Coast.
And knowing that and looking at that, now you have a profile. Have we positioned ourselves sufficiently as a destination to be able to cater to them?
I think we are en route to that. The Bahamas has just been named, as you would have heard in the room today at our presentation, as a top sustainability destination. I think the offerings in the outer islands in particular positions us for that. When you're talking about getting out and about, off the beaten path, I enjoy hiking, I enjoy water sports, I enjoy getting out there and looking at nature. We have a lot of that in our country. And so I think the visitor from the West Coast, and specifically the Pacific Northwest, because we're talking the kayaking and the hiking, even bird watching for that matter, because of the eco sensitivity of this particular market.
So, given that we traditionally have catered to those northeastern visitors from the northeastern United States and even some European over the years, what should we be doing to position ourselves, even the entrepreneurs, the small businesses, those who are connected, are the things we could be doing to position ourselves as a country to take advantage of what these visitors are looking for?
Very loaded question, but I would say this, because there's enormous opportunity for the people in our country to become entrepreneurs and own the travel space. There are a lot of experiences that can be curated, that can be monetized by Bahamians. I think the things that we take so simple, and some of the things in terms of our food area, we're talking about last night about the coconut and the ways that we can monetize and begin to create an industry around that. I see Bahamians writing business plans, creating and curating experiences that could be easily sold. I think we need a mindset shift though. We make things as if it's so difficult to do. It's the simple things in life that's driving travel right now. Think about the authentic things that we would have even loved as children that have come right back around, and that's what the visitor wants. They want authentic experiences at community level. They want to eat, play, feel like they're local. These are simple things that we could curate and provide them with. As simple as a historical tour or a tour that looks at some of the celebrity or if you will, of the past, and we've made monuments of them. Things that can be created. And these easy fix, we gotta think simple to get done with things that's at our fingertips. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Well said. A part of what you do helps to bring, those visitors to the Bahamas. Do people really understand the work that the ministry does in getting people there? Because, if you think about it, the brand of the Bahamas is well known, and people will ask why is so much needed to bring people to a well-known brand?
It's so interesting. I think the brand of the Bahamas has been exposed significantly. They recognize, if you will, if you're talking about a logo, the logo is just a symbol. What goes behind that brand and getting people to connect to that brand, that's a different process. Everybody have a brand, if you will. But what is appealing about the offering that's connected to that brand is the thing that drives the Ministry of Tourism's overseas mandate. We have to promote. We cannot take it for granted. We have to be connected to the right partnerships because those are going to help us drive people to the Bahamas. I always say something that you saw here. The travel advisor, for instance, or the OTA, the online travel agency, and Expedia, they are not just selling us. We have partnership programs with them. We are positioned within their websites to drive traffic, to interrupt, if you will, a sale so that we can get our offer in front of you and you choose the Bahamas. It's a science. It's not simple. I tell them, marketing is a science. It's not an art. So you have to have all of the strategies, platforms, and processes working together to support the brand. That's what makes the brand doable from my perspective and a success.
When we come back, more must-see stops in the Pacific Northwest, and later, all we is one. We catch up with Bahamians that reside in the Seattle area. You're watching On the Record. Stay with us.
If you're a business owner, get ready because the digital transformation is here. As a business owner, you now face the choice between innovation and extinction, but you don't have to get left behind. Join the click with Cable Bahamas Business Solutions and transform your office to get the competitive advantage. With innovative solutions like our fixed and mobile services, hosted PBX, Bahamas Cloud, and more, you can redefine your business. For more information on how you can join the click, contact the experts at businesssolutions@cablebahamas.com.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
We're excited about this campaign in particular because a lot of times people look at breakthrough technologies, and the span between a breakthrough technology could be a lot, but the innovation between those breakthrough technologies actually makes the difference. So we just like how they stay engaging the market, making it very exciting, making it appealing, but at the same time actually improving the infrastructure that we need to make innovation possible.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
If you want a real nice, tasty Bahamian dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the conch technician. When they ask me where I gurn by the conch queen. When they ask me where I gurn by Goldie. When they ask me where I gurn by the conch queen. When they ask me where I gurn by Goldie's. Arawaki's king of conch. We 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 gurn by Goldie's.
Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki, 325-4300. That's Goldie's Conch House, Arawaki, 325-4300.
Seattle truly isn't limited on things to do. Visitors can venture to the iconic Seattle waterfront. You can feel the energy charged with history and culture. There, you can find several notable sites like the Miners Landing Pier 56, where you can find local seafood. There is also the Seattle Aquarium, the Seattle Great Wheel, and so many other touristic attractions. But did Bahamians really travel if we didn't do a little shopping? Our adventure took us to the Pike Place Market, one of the oldest operated farmers markets in the United States, with everything under the sun. From touristy trinkets to fresh out-of-the-sea ingredients, locals take pride in procuring. And speaking of food, we met up with a Bahamian who lives in the Seattle area. Chef Shawan Curry is a culinary student and local chef who brings island cuisine to the Pacific Northwest. She shared what it's been like connecting with other Bahamians in the country and how it has been a great support system. And of course, how excited she is about the direct flight.
March is when they actually had Coach Yo came down and the general consulate, Mr. Patrick Adderley, he actually phoned us. His assistant, Miss Tammy Calmer, was a good friend of mine, and she said, you know what, we're coming up. And I said, okay. I was supposed to go to Nassau. And I said, you know what, for you guys, I will definitely just...
Nice. So you got together and the association started?
We started actually that same weekend.
Nice.
So we came and we called several of the Bahamians that are in the area, and we had about 20 actually came out, and we were able to go to the game and support Coach Yo and her family. And we actually had a dinner the next night, and then we just got together from there, and we had the independence celebrations for the 50th, and we had Patrick Adderley and Miss Calmer came, and they actually did a pinning ceremony. We sang the national anthem, we did the pledge, and we had persons come from Canada, from Chicago, and just come and just celebrate with us.
Support. That's really awesome. All right. You're far from home, but to have that association of Bahamians, even when people say, oh, Bahamians don't get together or we don't, but to hear that you actually have this association and that you guys do actually communicate, what does that do to keep you connected to home?
It's like having an extended family. And when persons have deaths in their family, when persons celebrate in their family, like we had a graduation where 2 of the kids in the group graduated, and we went to support. And then we had someone had a death in their family, we went to support them then also.
Now that Alaskan Air is putting on this direct flight, you can get home in 5 hours.
It's gonna be amazing. We look forward to this flight. We're just talking about it this afternoon, and we look forward to having that direct flight. We look forward to being able to bring more of our family to here, and just not having them stopping all over the place. And it's long enough, but then having to stop, and sometimes even overnighting in some cases. So it's a really good thing, and we look forward to this.
And you think it'll encourage you to be back and forth a little more?
Yes, definitely, because it is cold here. So as often as we can go home, it's always a pleasure to be able to go home.
As essential as a flight is for the country's economy, Bahamians who reside in the Washington area can't wait to reap the benefits. We spoke to another Bahamian native, former NFL player DeVar Darling, about how he got here and what Seattle offers as a resident.
First of all, I did not even know you were living here in Seattle. So take us through your journey of how you really got here, and what attracted you to the city.
Well, actually, after Florida State University, went to Florida State, me and my twin brother Devon, and after our freshman year there, and Devon passed away tragically there our freshman year in 2001, I transferred up here to Washington State. And Washington State is in Spokane on the east side of the state here in the state of Washington. So I'm a Washington State Cougar. Played a couple years there at Washington State, so I have roots here. And got drafted into the NFL. And once I was playing in the NFL, I always had a home in Houston. After retiring, was moving back and forth here to Washington with business, and then also my had family out here. My wife was here from Washington, and that's why we made that move.
What really made you decide to settle here?
Well, business and connections, and I had a home root of people here, So it was an easy transition for me.
Now tell us from your perspective, what is it like? We spent a couple of days here moving around, and so I got to form my own opinions.
Right.
But what is it like, in Seattle? I mean, most of us only know what we know from reading about it or watching on television. But what is it like?
Well, like you said, it's beautiful in the summertime. Summertime is the time to be here. It's the time to stay here really in Seattle. That's when the sun is out. You have long nights, long days. Sun will go down till 9:30 sometimes, 10 o'clock at night in the summertime. So that's the time to really be out here. That's the Emerald City. That's what you really see about. And in the wintertime, it's usually gray like this. You have a lot of rain, and you have to get into the outdoor sports, the outdoors, if you really like it out here, So I travel often. I travel back to Houston a lot and try to make it back home at least 2-3 times a year. So this direct flight from Alaska, from Seattle to Nassau, is perfect. It's perfect.
Well, that's going to be my next question. I mean, I know that, getting home and moving back and forth can be a little complicated.
Right.
So what does it mean now that you can hop on a flight and be back home in 5 hours?
That means a lot. It means a lot. I mean, like I say, usually it's a hop, skip, and a jump all the way from out here, in Seattle. And you usually have to fly to Houston, or you fly to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, to get a flight out to Nassau. So, and it's a long haul. So this direct flight definitely helps out a lot.
So one of the things that we do when we come on a trip like this is we try to tell Bahamians what there is to do, or show them what there is to do.
Right.
We wandered out on our own. I had a few, encounters with some of the things here. But, from your perspective, what do you say to folks who may be considering coming over and visiting? You talked about the long summers, which is great. But what other things are there for us to do when we come?
You have good food, man. Seafood here is big. Got fresh seafood. And that's really one of the main attractions here too. You got great seafood, and everything is by the water. So when you come out here, you got, outside by the water is beautiful, especially when the sun is out, and you have nice, warm people out here, man. So, it's a cool little vibe. It's a different world up here. It's a different world, but
seems very laid back and
it's
very family-like, and just a cool
little vibe. Cool vibe.
Good.
We were only hours away from the inaugural flight, and with a full day behind us, it was time to rest up for the big day. So we said goodnight in what some would view as a sleepless city. The sun seemed to shine a little brighter at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. This day, the busy terminal had an extra level of buzz as passengers were greeted by that sweet Bahamian music we know and love. During the ceremony, Joy Gibberlew shared an encouraging story of a family she met while checking in.
I just want to say thank you, Alaska Airlines. Kirsten, you're here with us, but your whole team, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation, headed this morning by the Director General, Latia Duncan. It is such an honor and a privilege to be able to welcome you to this inaugural flight. And I want you all to know you are a part of history. This is the first time ever that we are connecting Seattle, Washington with Nassau, Bahamas. And no one is more excited than Bahamians. I feel the excitement in here, but wait till you feel it the other end. But I just want to share very briefly my experience this morning in the check-in line. Family behind me got chatting, I guess that's the Seattleian way. Said, where are you going? I said, Nassau, Bahamas. Oh, how are you getting there? A direct flight. Really? Said, today's the first time. Wow, that's incredible. How long is that flight? 7-8 hours? I said, no, actually. A mere 5.5, and if I stretch the truth there a little bit, I did say, I confess 5.5. And they went, wow. that's an option. We go to Maui every year, and that's 6+ hours. And I feel that that's going to be the feeling that we get. So I just want to thank you, because this opens up not just Seattle for us, it opens up Portland, Vancouver, and we even get up to Alaska too. So I welcome you once again. I know the flight's going to just give you a taste of what you can experience in the Bahamas, but thank you all so very much.
Kristen Amrin, Alaska Airlines VP of Revenue Management and Network Planning, shared her excitement along with the Director General, Atia Duncombe.
I am super excited to go on this flight. I know my family is too. I made them wear their last shirt. There's my son with his big, and he's gonna run away. But we've been talking about this flight in our household for 6 months since we announced service back in June. And again, with my son, on this weekend, he goes, "Is there going to be a pool in the Bahamas?" And so I think that this Seattle boy is going to be in for a real treat. I think just all the water activities, and I don't think he's also ever seen water that turquoise before, so that's going to be super exciting. I think for us at Alaska, this is really exciting. This service represents our 7th country that we're flying to. It's also our 101st destination out of Seattle. And then, as Joy just mentioned, it's the first time that there's going to be scheduled service actually from any carrier from Seattle to the Caribbean. So again, super exciting. We also have our flight from LA that's landing there, but we're going to land first, so we're going to be the first flight there. And I think with that, I'll just say big thanks to the Bahamas Tourism Bureau, and I'll hand it over to Latia.
So this trip, we want you to get a taste of Nassau Paradise Island. The iconic scenes. See our culture, our history, our heritage. If you have nothing planned, Bahamas.com and we at the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation will curate an itinerary and an experience just for you. And remember, once is not enough, because Alaska, this is not a one and done. This relationship will be long term. And so this trip is going to be Nassau Paradise Island, and then we will see which other islands you will explore on your next trip. And when it's time to depart, no long lines. We have pre-clearance and TSA in the islands of the Bahamas. So we're going to make it
Attention, the boarding area for Alaska Flight 801 in service to Kailua Kona. Just a paging passenger with the last name.
Ain't going home though. No, they're not going to the Bahamas.
Last name Rupert.
I'll just speak because I don't know when that's going to stop. But when it's time for you to return, the ease of getting to and through and returning home is just as smooth as going in. So I want to say on behalf of the Bahamas government, our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, we value the partnership. Joy, thank you so much for all that you and the promotion board does as well. And it's time to enjoy the islands of the Bahamas.
After a brief ceremony and ribbon cutting, it was time to take to the sky. Passengers were onboarded and we prepared for takeoff. The beautiful mountainous terrains of the Pacific Northwest coast in view as we cruised 5.5 hours into the vibrant turquoise waters we call home.
From coast to culture, Seattle, a place like no other. No other when I think about the islands of the Bahamas and the synergies and the connections and the doorways and the pathway that it opens to increasing our 8 million that our Deputy Prime Minister announced earlier this month. We're excited about the Pacific Northwest, about Canada, and beyond. And as we look at the similarities between the destinations, it's getting more, exposing more, as we look at the cultures, from the water sport activities, from the film and festivals, from the culinary components. There is just so much that the two countries have to offer. And one of the things that stood out when we looked at it, I got a question yesterday at our luncheon, and the question was, can we use Bahamas as a hub for the Caribbean? And my answer was absolutely, and we have TSA pre-clearance as well.
The research was done, the deal signed, and the first successful flight of many was completed.
We welcome this incredible partnership and congratulate all the stakeholders involved for making this happen. Although this adventure has come to an end, we look forward to the many others ahead and the continued success of our country's #1 industry. This is On the Record. We'll see you on our next adventure.
I see a selfish, self-absorbed man with a lot of muscle, but no regard for anyone but yourself.
She should sue you!
Here are some answers to some commonly asked questions about our new RevX TV Guide platform. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact